Hello everyone and welcome back again. We are going to continue with the second part in terms of composition. We are starting first of all with the word order. We're going to start with, of course, sentence structure. Which words does a sentence compose of, and which word comes first? What is the order of these words within the sentence? How do we formulate a sentence in English? Well, these are all questions that we are going to answer in this lesson today. So here we go. We start off first with how or what are the main components of a sentence in English. Of course, we have 6 major components. We have the who. The who is the one or the person or the thing that is doing the action. We have the what. It's normally the verb. And then we have this entire section which constitutes or which makes the object of the sentence. So it's the where, the when, the how, and the why. So the who, of course, as we said, is the subject, and then the what is the verb. These two, they always go hand in hand. So this one goes with this one, and this one goes with this one. They never ever leave each other's side. So if you want to create a complete sentence, you must start it off with the subject, and then number 2 with the verb that follows. First, here we have a few examples. So we say Alex, which is the who. Alex traveled, right? Here we have the subject, and then we have the verb, the who and the what. Here we have the school closed, all right? First off, we have the subject, which is the school. The school is the who of the sentence, and then we have closed. Closed is the verb, the what of the sentence. All right, here a small nota bene, of course. The subject can either be a person, it can be a thing. It's quite open. All right, it doesn't always have to be a person. It doesn't always have to be a subject pronoun that you should use there. All right, this is something that's common sense, simple stuff. All right, we move to the next section. It's the what. An important part of the what is also the object. It goes hand in hand with the verb. All right, for example, we have Sarah, the who, right? Sarah ate lunch. So ate is the verb, lunch is the object. What did Sarah eat? She ate lunch. All right, the what in this case composes of ate, the verb, and it composes of lunch, the object of the sentence. So we say Sarah ate lunch. Sarah ate what? Sarah ate lunch. So here we always answer the question what. Example number 2, the bus hit the tree. All right, so the bus is the subject of the sentence. Hit is the verb. It's the what. And we have an additional what, which is the object, the tree. What did the bus hit? The bus hit the tree. So once we are familiar with the basic structure, we can move to where, when, how, and why. So feel free to pause the video for now and just go through these components again. Maybe jot down a couple of examples and post them in the comments below, or send them to me on the different platforms and social media. Alright, so as I said before, we could always use the who and the what hand in hand, but an additional information is that the elements, all of them together, the 6 elements, they don't have to be present all together at the same time. All right, you can have the who and the what plus where, for example, the who and the what alone, the who and the what plus the where or the when, etc. All right, so just bear one thing in mind, that the most important thing for you right now is to create a sentence which has a meaning, a sentence which is complete and which gives an idea. All right, we have a couple of examples with the when, the why, the where, the when, and the how. For example, sentence number 1, the school closed. All right, the school closed here, it's a complete sentence. We have the subject and we have the verb. However, we added the when. All right, so we say the school closed when last week. Then we added the why because of a national emergency. All right, so we say the school closed last week because of a national emergency. If you stop in the first section, the school closed, it's a complete sentence. If you stop in the next section, the school closed last week, again here, it's a complete sentence. If you stop or you continue the sentence, the school closed last week because of a national emergency, again, whichever WH question you are adding, you are giving more meaning to the sentence. However, you must respect the order of these WH questions. The second example, Alex traveled. Of course, again, we have a complete sentence, subject and a verb. We can add the where. So we say Alex traveled to Spain. When did Alex travel to Spain? Alex traveled to Spain last week. How did Alex travel to Spain? Or I say Alex traveled to Spain last week by plane. Right, if you want to give even more information, even more meaning to the sentence, you can add the why, the reason. So you say Alex traveled to Spain last week by plane to visit his family. So visiting his family is the reason. And then again, here you are free with using the different WH questions to make a complete sentence. However, again, keep in mind that you must and you have to use them in order so that you make a complete and correct sentence. Alright, I want to give you a small practice. Can you add more information to these sentences? We have Sarah ate lunch and the bus hit the tree. Alright, I need you to stop the video for a couple of minutes and you jot down some sentences on paper and then please post them in the comment below or send them to me directly. I would like to know what kind of sentences you have created. Alright, let's do them together at this stage. So we have, again, reminder, the who, after that the what, after that the where, then the when, the how, and the why. Alright, you must keep them all in order. This is the order of a complete sentence. Who, what, where, when, how, and why. For example, here in this sentence, Sarah ate lunch, alright? We can add the where and the when. So we say Sarah ate lunch at school during the break. Right? You can add whatever type of information you need. However, you must respect the order. So here we have where is number 3, and then we have when comes right after where. We cannot say Sarah ate lunch during the break at school. Right, it makes sense. However, it's not a correct and a complete sentence grammatically. So first, we must start with the where, and then we move to the when. So we say Sarah ate lunch at school during the break. Sentence number 2, the bus hit the tree. Right, so here we can add the how and the why, for example. You might have other examples on you. So we say the bus hit the tree with great force because the brake malfunctioned. Right, malfunctioned, it means the brakes didn't work. Right, they stopped working. So we say the bus hit the tree. How did the bus hit the tree? With great force. Why did the bus hit the tree? Because the brakes malfunctioned. Again, here in the sentence, we are respecting the order of how and why. We are not saying the bus hit the tree because the brakes malfunctioned with great force. Right here, it doesn't make sense at all. So we first start with great force, where we say the bus hit the tree with great force, and then we add the why, because the brakes malfunctioned. Alright, what goes first? So, again, if a sentence composes of different similar units, start by the smaller to the larger. Alright, this is just common sense. So, sometimes we start from larger to smaller, sometimes from smaller to larger. When we are talking about a sentence, we start from smaller and then we go to the larger unit within the sentence. For example, we have the component when. Alright, this is a sentence which composes of 3 aspects of the when. We have at 10 p.m., we have on Friday, and we have last week. Alright, so the who and the what. So we have the wedding started at 10 p.m. So we say the time first. And then on Friday, then we talk about the day. Last week, then we say the week. We are going from the smaller unit, which is the time, to the day, to the larger unit, which is last week. We can even say the wedding started at 10 p.m. on Friday last week, last year, last decade, right? So all that we have to do is that to go from smaller to larger. Another example is with the unit where. So we say they live. All right, we want to know where do they live. So here we have three components again. We have apartment, then city, then Morocco. The small unit is an apartment. The next unit is city, right? Because it's bigger than the apartment. And then the third unit is Morocco because it's bigger than both of them. So we say they live in an apartment in a small city in Morocco. We are starting from the smallest to the largest. Perfect. Then again, important notes to keep in mind. So we never separate the elements who and what. These two, they always go hand in hand. They are never, ever separated from each other in a sentence, right? We need them together so that we can create a complete sentence. The next thing is do not mess with the order of the units. So first we have who, then what, where, when, how, and why. All right, so you keep the order of these elements so as to create a complete and meaningful sentence in English. Thank you very much, guys. I hope this has been quite an easy lesson. I have a small homework for you. All right, it's about composition. I need you to create complete sentences. So you have a couple of activities here where you must reorder the sentences to make complete sentences. All right, you can find this exercise on our shared Google Drive platform. So you just go to composition and you download the file, you work on it, and you feel free to send it to me whenever you can. So I hope that this lesson has been easy and accessible. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below. Feel free to contact me, and let's keep the learning. And don't forget, stay at home. Don't go anywhere. God bless.